Alright, so I know I usually make like some cringy commentary, for example, Sophie Rain, pedophile tier list, but this one is actually fucking scary. Genuinely think I have a phobia from this man alone, okay? It's very scary. So there's this one guy, his name is David Alter, and he has many accounts, right? Keep in mind, he's 60 years old. He has many like Instagram accounts where he AI generates children and makes PSAs about pedophiles.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
At the start of these accounts, it's usually like pretty normal, but then over time it gets really over edited. It literally looks like somebody took an acid trip and just started looking at these photos. He had many accounts, like roughly over a dozen. He basically made a community with those accounts where they were just interacting with each other. And you might be wondering, why is this guy making so many freaking accounts? Well, it's to actually bait minors. We as people who have a grown prefrontal cortex, right? We could look at these photos and see that something might be wrong with this guy, like with the person that's making an account. We could look at it and realize like, hey, this might not be made by a kid, but little children who have access to social media, they might not see anything wrong with this. He makes it really believable. For example, like let's look at some of his bios. Talks about how he is like 9 years old, 12 years old. He says how he's school dedicated, this and that, right? Genuinely, a kid might not see anything wrong with this. They might think like, oh, this guy's just playing around with filters or something. But that's not the most disturbing part of this rabbit hole. If we look a little deeper, we would find this account that's followed by all of them, and it's called Smartschoolboy9. And the reason why I'm whispering that name is because my brother's actually freaking terrified by it. He starts crying every time he hears that name. So who is Smartschoolboy9? Well, the reason why this particular Instagram account, out of all the ones he owns, stands out the most is because he actually uses his face in that instead of having AI generated pictures. And his face, I don't know what to tell you. He has like a white makeup, and just look at it yourself, okay?
Oh.
As you guys could see with the clips that I'm throwing up, it's scary. This guy, what the heck is going on in this guy's mind, right? Like, you could tell that this guy probably has some psychotic tendencies. In these videos, he dresses up as a kid. This guy dresses up pretending to be a school kid. He takes videos of him in schools. He takes pictures of other children while they're at the playgrounds. And overall, this is a very scary case, right? Looking at this, you could obviously tell that there's something wrong with this guy. For some reason, this kind of sparked a passion in me. I was thinking like, wait, pause. Not passion in like chasing little kids, but passion in like learning psychology. Like, what was going on through this guy's head to think that this is okay? But if we look a little bit more into it, we'll realize that he does not think this is okay. He knows it is wrong. That's why in each account he always exposes pedophiles, right? So at the start of each account, he's like, oh, beware of this guy, beware of that guy, and he's just like exposing a bunch of pedophiles, pretending that he is the mom of the kid, right? He usually says that this account is run by my mom, this and that. In those clips, he talks about how you should be aware of this pedophile, what he did. And sometimes even in the description of photos, he talks about be aware of these creeps online. So we could actually assume that he's projecting these feelings. So he knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows it. So he's projecting it to others, and he's quite an intellectual individual, right? So in each post he drops like a poem. Maybe they're not award-winning poems, but they're poems that wouldn't be written by an average intelligence person. And let's look at the editing. We might assume that just random and he's just putting a bunch of shit together, but if you look at it deeper, you could see that he's doing it strategically to hide certain evidence. Let me show you a clip of him chasing a child. You can see in the beginning he's doing a collage of edits, right? It looks like I just took some shrooms watching this video. But they're all strategically placed to hide the location, to hide the evidence, to hide what he's doing. And he's posting it as fetish content. If we slow down the clip, we could literally see the kid running in the background. That's all for today. I don't want to keep talking about this, so I don't really post scary stuff like this. If you guys like this type of content, let me know and I'll post a little bit more of like horror content. But if you want to see how Sophie Rain was showing her nudes to kids, click this video. By the way, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1K.